There are press conferences, and then there are moments that expose exactly who should be leading a country and who absolutely shouldn't be questioning them. Today in Johannesburg during the G20 summit, Mark Carney walked into a room full of reporters expecting a routine Q&A. Instead, what unfolded was a showcase of leadership, clarity, and patience until that patience ran out. Because while Carney was there to talk about global strategy, record trade expansion, new alliances, and Canada's rising influence, some reporters were stuck asking the same recycled, childish questions about Donald Trump. Questions Carney had already answered. And this is where things got interesting. Carney didn't lash out. Carney didn't play politics. Carney didn't get emotional. He did something far more devastating. He shut down the entire Trump storyline with calm logic, pure strategy, and a tone that said, "I'm leading a country. I don't have time for this nonsense." This wasn't just a press conference, this was a reminder that Canada finally has a leader who doesn't just react to chaos, he rises above it. Let's walk through exactly what happened. Prime Minister Ashley Burke, CBC News. Since the US called off trade talks with Canada, has Mr. Trump returned your calls, texts, or accepted your apology over the Ontario ad? He accepted the apology when I spoke to him. And we've had discussions. I've been busy. There's another point though, I've been busy. We passed a budget with that's going to catalyze $1 trillion of investment. We have launched new trade agreements. We've secured new investment in the country of a size not seen arguably before. So we're busy. Hay's got other things to do. Re-engage, when it's appropriate. The press tries the Trump question right away, not because it's important, but because it's easy. Has Donald Trump returned your calls? Carney's response, controlled, sharp, final. He confirms the basic fact and then ends the game with, "I've been busy." In that moment, the entire power dynamic flipped. The message was clear. Canada is not waiting by the phone. Canada is not operating on Trump's timeline. Canada has work to do, and Carney has been doing it. When was the last time you spoke to the president? And as you diversify, trade away from the US, what's your red line like when you, in terms of dealing with other countries? I mean, what are the conditions where you want to do business with another country, no matter how much money it has? Well, I think the let me answer the second part of that, which is there's levels of engagement with countries our partnership. With the European Union, for example, is at a level, prospectively that is unmatched. With other jurisdictions, because we have similar values, in terms of privacy, for example. We have similar values in terms of sustainability. We have similar values in terms of workers' rights. We have similar views about territorial integrity in Ukraine, as well. So our level of cooperation with the European Union with the United Kingdom is on a different level than our level of cooperation with other countries. So all relationships are not equal. They're not of equal depth. And certainly, it's not the case. This is an important point. When we engage with a country, Canada engages with a country that we're endorsing everything that country does. The two do not follow. We calibrate our relationship. But it's not an endorsement of everything that happens in the country, nor vice versa from those countries to us. Next question. Who cares? I mean, it's a detail. I spoke to him, he'll speak to him again when it matters. I look forward to speaking to the president soon, but I don't have a burning issue to speak with the president about right now. When America wants to come back and have the discussions on the trade side, we will have those discussions. Right after that first Trump question, the entire press conference shifted. Carney made it clear that while reporters were recycling the same storyline, his government was actually doing the work. Signing deals, expanding trade, bringing in investment, and building Canada's global position. But reporters kept dragging him back to Trump again and again. And that's when Carney shut the whole thing down with calm precision. He explained that Canada has layered partnerships, real alliances with Europe and the UK, strategic ties with emerging economies, and practical engagement everywhere else. None of this depends on a phone call from Washington. Yet the questions kept coming, and Carney finally ended the nonsense. He called the entire Trump issue a detail, not a priority, not a crisis, just a detail. Then he delivered the line that flipped the power dynamic. Canada will talk to the US when the US is ready. In that moment, it became clear. Canada isn't waiting for American approval anymore. This wasn't tension. This was leadership. A prime minister refusing to be dragged down by childish questions when he's busy shaping Canada's future. This year's G20 summit brought together nations representing 3/4 of the world's population, 2/3 of global GDP, and 3/4 of the world's trade. And that's without the United States formally attending. It's a reminder that the center of gravity in the global economy is shifting. The last century was defined by concentration of capital, production, and power. The next one will be defined by diffusion of technology, of energy, and influence. by the rise of the global south and new roles for middle powers like Canada to multilateral arrangements that work for all. All our task is to ensure that Canada doesn't only endure this shift, but that we prosper under it. And that demands a new economic strategy. It's why Canada is signing new deals with new partners, diversifying our trade, and attracting billions of dollars of new investment into our country. Yesterday, Canada met the EU and Vietnam. Vietnam and its capacity as the incoming chair of the CPTPP trade agreement, and we began discussions on greater integration between the CPTPP and the EU. Linking those two of the world's largest trading blocs representing over 1 billion people will expand trade, catalyze investment, and increase partnerships across a range of areas from AI to energy in the Indo-Pacific, Europe, and of course, very much in Canada. Our senior officials will convene over the following months with a mission to deliver concrete results in this new bloc early next year. From there, Carney shifted the entire room into global mode. He laid out how the world's center of gravity is moving, how new power blocks are forming, and how countries that adapt now will lead the next decade. And he made it clear, Canada intends to be one of them. He announced Canada's new foothold in Africa, opening a strategic office in Cape Town to tap into one of the fastest-growing economic regions in the world. Then he moved straight into Canada's critical mineral strategy, the backbone of future technologies, explaining how Canada is positioning itself at the center of the clean tech and AI supply chain. But the biggest moment came when he revealed early work on linking the EU and the TPP into one massive economic corridor. That's not diplomacy. That's global architecture. That's a country designing tomorrow's trade map, not reacting to it. He followed with a major global health pledge, proving Canada isn't just acting economically, but morally, stepping back into a leadership role the world has been missing, and he tied it all together with one doctrine that defines his entire foreign policy. Canada is moving from reliance to resilience. New markets, new alliances, new autonomy. It was the clearest signal yet that Carney is not just participating in global change, he's shaping it. Our new government is working for Canada to move from reliance to resilience by building a broad and dense web of new partnerships and creating new economic opportunities that will make Canada stronger, both at home and abroad. As we deepen our trade relationships with reliable partners, we are building massive trade and transportation infrastructure at home in Canada. We're signing new deals and finding new investors to fuel our plans in Canada's economic ambition. Earlier this week, I was in the United Arab Emirates, where I met with the leading sovereign wealth funds and CEOs to attract new investment into Canada. We signed an investment protection agreement and we launched negotiations on a new comprehensive economic partnership. At the conclusion of my visit, I welcomed the decision of the UAE to invest $7 billion in Canada. This powerful vote of confidence in our economy represents one of the largest foreign direct investments in Canada's history, and will create high-paying careers across our country, from energy to agriculture and artificial intelligence. Overall, we've announced almost a dozen new economic and security partnerships across 4 continents in less than 6 months. On Monday, we signed a new partnership with Sweden to increase collaboration on trade, investment, and innovation. We've signed agreements with the European Union in trade and defense, with Germany in critical minerals, with Chile in technology. We finalized a new trade agreement and economic partnership with Indonesia. We launched negotiations, free trade negotiations with Thailand and the Philippines as we accelerated our work to finalize our free trade agreement with the Asian nations over the next year. That's 20% of global GDP. And then came the moment that tied everything together. The confirmation of just how far Canada's global reach has expanded. Carney laid out the full scale of Canada's new international deal-making, starting with the headline that stunned the world. The UAE's massive $70 billion investment into Canada, not as charity, but as confidence, as a bet on Canada's stability, strategy, and long-term strength. From there, he rattled off partnership after partnership. Europe, Germany, Chile, Indonesia, ASEAN, Sweden, showing a country that is no longer chasing opportunities, but attracting them. Canada is signing agreements across continents, diversifying trade routes, securing new markets, and building influence in every major region. This final stretch of the press conference made one thing unmistakably clear. Canada is becoming a global hub, a country in demand, a nation the world wants to work with, and Carney is the architect behind that momentum. What we witnessed today wasn't Carney defending himself. It was Carney defining Canada's future. A future where we don't wait for America. A future where we build our own alliances. A future where our leadership is respected, not questioned. A future where Canada is a global power, not by accident, but by design. Carney walked into Johannesburg as a prime minister. He walked out as a strategist shaping the world's next chapter.